What's up, man? Hope you're having a blessed one. Back with another one right here. We got Owing millions to a cartel and living to tell about it. I had watched a little bit of this so far. I'm like 7 minutes in, 8 minutes in. It started getting good, so I end up recording it. Let's get back into this one right here, man. Little stand-up jump.
He says, okay, get ready, you're going. I said, wait a minute, what am I doing? And he says, I have some of the best product in the world that's in Australia. And I'm thinking to myself, product, man. He says, I have a ton of cocaine in Australia right now. I'm like, holy shit. He goes, and the price for wholesale is $100,000 a key. I'm like, damn. Holy shit. So what have I gotten myself into, Big Herc? So I was like, man, 100,000 a key. I said, man, I sold grams in high school, or I sold grams in college. I've never even seen a kilo, let alone moved them. So I'm thinking to myself, man, what am I going to do? Like, fuck, who's going to sell this shit, right? So I go to my Rolodex and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got to find someone to move this product. I don't even know where to begin. And being from California, you know, we got a lot of people in the weed game. So I reach out to one of my buddies from USC who played baseball, and I remember his brother was a weed grower, and I said, you know what, I'm going to ask him. Maybe he can connect me with his brother who's a weed grower. Maybe he has some kind of, maybe just an international contact. Let's just check. So I go to USC, and I said, hey, your brother's still in the game? He goes, my brother's not in the game, but he still associates with the people. Why, what do you need? I said, man, I need someone that's international. He's like, dude, you're in luck. I said, what do you mean I'm in luck? He goes, his friend from Italy, who's an associate of one of the 5 families, is visiting him right now, and they're playing racquetball in San Diego. I said, you're kidding me. I said, well, can I drive down? He goes, yeah, you can drive down and meet him. So I remember I got in my car, I drove down there, and I meet this Italian dude. He's old, like 65 years old, gives me a kiss on the cheek, like I'm smelly Italian. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's the real deal. Like, he's a dirty ass Italian, you know, and I didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
He says, listen, nephew, you know, Italians always call you nephew. He said, listen, nephew, I'm not talking about any kind of business in the U.S. He says, you want to come and talk to me about business? You fly to Naples, Italy, where I live. I said, well, fuck, I got $1 million a day about to be given to me. I'm flying to Naples, Italy. So what did I do? I got on that plane next week, and I met him in Naples, Italy. I pull up to his villa. He's got 2 villas. He's got his own vineyard. He's doing his own wine. He's a real deal. He's definitely the man. I said, man, they weren't lying. This guy's for real. So I sit down, I have the conversation. I said, I have the best product in the world right now, in a country that's impossible to get to. I have cocaine from South America that is in Sydney, Australia right now. He says, it's impossible. He goes, it's the hardest place in the world to get product to. I don't believe it. Don't waste my time. How's he going to trust this 24-year-old kid, you know? I'm like, I'm telling you, man, I got it. He goes, don't waste my time. He goes, if you really had that, he said, you would be a millionaire right now. I said, no, that's what I'm trying to get at. I said, this guy that I do business with said, I'll be a millionaire overnight if I can move the product. He goes, I can move the product. I got all the contacts over there. He goes, but I don't believe that it's over there. He goes, why don't you go over there and find out it's there, and then fly me over. So what did I do? I flew back to California, told El Jefe, hey, I got a buyer. I said, but he doesn't believe me. He said, man, stop wasting my time. I said, the only way he'll come over there is if I get there and I tell him it's there. He says, get on the plane. He goes, I'm paying for your Sydney ticket. He got me a first-class ticket to Sydney, Australia.
Oh, shit.
I'm laying in Virgin Australia. I'm laying in the bed thinking to myself, what have I gotten myself into? And I land in Australia, and El Jefe messages me on the encrypted phone, and he says, now tell that fucking Italian that the product is here and that you need him over here. So I told him, I said, all right. So I remember telling the Italian, we'll call him Uncle Louie, right? I said, hey, Uncle Louie, I'm here in Sydney, and it's really here. You got to get over here. So next day he flies on El Jefe's dollar. So, so we get him over there. This old man's wearing like a 3-piece suit. He says, hey, we're in Sydney. You got to dress nice around here. Everyone's wearing suits. It's like kind of like New York.
Yeah.
He says, if you're wearing a T-shirt, you're going to stand out. Everyone wears suits. And he says, we got to look nice. So I go and I get a suit. Now here I am with this Italian guy wearing these suits, and He goes, okay, now we got to get a suitcase because we got to pretend like we're businessmen and we're rolling this suitcase around Sydney. Everyone has these rolling suitcases. I'm like, okay, whatever he says, you know, he knows the game. I'm new to this, so I'm like, okay. I tell El Jefe, I said, what do we do? We're ready. He goes, go to the Four Seasons Hotel. He says, get a room. He says, in 20 minutes, you're going to have a package delivered. I said, all right, cool. I said, how many? He says, you're going to have 20 birds dropped off. I said, birds? What do you mean birds? You know, I don't know the game, Big Kirk. I'm like, birds? Okay. All right, 20 birds. All right, cool. So I get there. I tell Uncle Louis, I said, hey, get a room next to mine. I said, so we're not in the same room. And this package is coming. So 20 minutes later, I get that knock on the door, and there's a guy with a box, and he goes, here you go. I go, holy shit. I take it, and I get on. I'm like, fuck, I'm scared. I'm like, fuck, this is going to give me a life sentence right here. You know, anything over 2 kilos in Australia, you're going to prison forever. Yeah. So I knock on the wall. I said, hey, Uncle Louie, get over here. He comes over, he opens it up, and he goes, holy shit, nephew. He says, you just became a millionaire overnight. I said, holy shit, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, let me see what I can do. So he takes it, goes to his people. 30 minutes later, he's back with $2 million.
Damn, that quick.
Yeah, that quick, like that.
Holy
30 minutes.
Shit.
I was like, holy shit, Louis. He goes, they asked when we can get the next shipment.
Damn.
So I'm telling El Jefe, I said, dude, I'm telling El Jefe, I go, hey, I got your money. Where do you want it? He goes, just hold on to it. Put it in your apartment. I said, man, are you kidding me? I'm holding your money too now? He goes, yeah, just hold on to it. So I'm like, all right. So I get to my apartment and I throw it in the cabinet, and I'm like, in the kitchen cabinets, I'm throwing them up
How
there.
much did that weigh?
It was $1 million. The duffel bag was huge. It had to be at least 50 pounds, right?
Damn.
So I'm just stacking all $50 bills.
Dang, looking like a motherfucking chocolate drop.
And I'm so nervous. I'm like, holy shit, you know, this is just $1 million. And then we did it again. And we did another 20, and we did another 20. Next thing you know, I got $10 million in my apartment complex. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, like, what am I going to do now? Like, is El Jefe going to have someone pick this cash up? Like, what do I do? And I message him going, hey, El Jefe, I got the money. What do you want to do? He goes, that's your job. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, what have I gotten myself into? Like, you can't just get on the plane with this duffel bag and $5 million.
Dang,
so now I'm fucking freaking out, Big Herc. I'm like, man, fucking A, I didn't sign up for this part. But now I see why he sent me over here. It makes sense.
Get the money out.
Yeah, he wanted me to get the money. The money's the hardest part to get out. The cocaine's easy.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff sells itself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the money, you know, we didn't have Bitcoin back then. Could you imagine? If we had Bitcoin, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. I'd still be working. You know, so I go, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this money out? So I called my accountant back home. I said, hey, man, I got a problem. I can't tell him I'm selling cocaine in Australia, right? So everyone knows I'm a bookie. Yeah. So I said, hey, this client of mine, this Chinese client, just lost $10 million, dude. He paid me in cash. I said, I don't know what to do. I said, do you have any suggestions? He goes, yeah, I'll fly over. We'll figure it out. He's my accountant, right?
Yeah, he's like, shit, let me get
on. Yeah, he wanted a piece of that. I said, dude, I'm willing to pay whatever. I don't care, you know, I'm scared shitless now. Yeah. I got $10 million in my kitchen cabinet. I got some in the dishwasher. I got it in the bedroom. I got it in the attic, in the bathroom. I am fucking shitting bricks. No pun intended. So he gets over there. He goes, man, I didn't believe that you had this much money. This is going to take a long time. I said, I know. Where do we begin? He says, let's just start buying gold, 1 ounce rounds. I said, I like that idea. Okay, what are we going to do? Like, you can't bring gold across. They're going to know. He goes, no. What is Australia known for? I said, Australia is known for a few things: kangaroos, Ugg boots. He goes, Ugg boots. Famous. You know what an Ugg boot is, right? It sounds like an Ugg boot. He goes, we're going to buy Ugg boots. He says, we're going to take the soles out of the Ugg boots, and we're going to glue the gold coins on the bottom. You can fit 4 gold 1 ounce rounds in each sole. So that's 8 coins. That's like, at the time, $16,000. And he says, we're going to just start shipping them. He says, what we'll do is we'll start shipping them to our girlfriends, our wives, our buddies from college, whoever. Everyone's getting Ugg boots. Ugg boots, right? Wow. I'm thinking, man, this is going to take forever. I said, isn't there a faster way? I said, shit. He goes, yeah, there's a faster way. He says, now we're going to take the Australian dollar and we're going to go purchase euros. They make a $500 euro note, which at the time was like $750. So every day we'd take 50,000, and we had a team of like 4 guys. His brother was there, his father-in-law was there. And we're around the whole town. We each take 50,000, so that's 200,000 a day, and we're buying these euro notes. So we start putting these $500 euro notes in these comic books, and we're putting them in, and we're filling like 20,000 each comic book, and we're vacuum sealing it, and then we're putting it in at the time eBay was big, so we put it in eBay, put an eBay sticker like it's coming from Australia, and we send them. Dude, we had 100% return rate. Not one of them got picked off. So it's working them, but it's so slow, big
Yeah,
Earth.
it's a
We're
lot of
talking
work.
like it's so much work. We got a 4-man crew of squares, you might add. We got
Yeah.
an accountant, guy from USC, a fire captain. Like we're talking squares here, okay? So I'm like, man, this is taking way too long. So I was dating this girl who's from Mexico. I said, hey, do you have any contacts? I said, man, I am in a bind right now. She's like, what's the problem? I said, I got all this money, and this gambler lost all this money, and I don't know how to get it out of the country. He goes, she goes, why don't you use the casinos? I said, the casinos? She goes, yeah. Get like a high roller to come and just. I said, do you have anybody? She goes, I got the perfect guy. His name's Robin Hood. I said, yeah, what does he do? He's a professional blackjack player. He's a high roller in Vegas. They call him Robin Hood 702. I said, I mean, this is perfect. I said, what do I need to do? She's like, well, you need to fly back to California to meet him. So I'm like, fuck it. I told the guys, hey, you guys keep doing your thing with the coins, the euro notes, and I said, I'm flying back to California. I'm meeting Robin Hood 702. And they're like, all right, whatever you got going, go. So I get to California, and I remember going to the Santa Monica Fairmount. It's a hotel right on.
I know exactly where I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's right on Ocean
Yeah.
Boulevard,
Yeah.
right there in Wilshire, and I get there and I meet this Robin Hood. He has his hat down and he looks paranoid, man. I go, hey, man, I went by the name Junior. I go, I'm Junior. He goes, I'm Robin Hood. He wouldn't tell me his name. I said, nice to meet you, Robin Hood. I said, this is the situation. I gave him the situation. I got a gambler that just lost $10 million. I got to get the money out of the fucking country. I have no other way to get it. This girl I'm dating says that you're the man. He goes, yeah, I'm a high roller. What are you thinking? I said, well, I got like $1.5 million in a suitcase just waiting for you. You want to just try it? A little trial and error? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm going to charge you 25%. Who cares, right? We're making so much money. Who cares about the 25%? If he can do it, let's do it. I said, 25, you got a deal. I shook on it. He goes, there's more to it. I want a first-class ticket to Australia. I want a to-me luggage so I can put the money in the to-me luggage. And he goes, I want the penthouse at the Four Seasons. I'm like, God damn, like this guy, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
He must be a pro, right? Like if he's asking all these requests, he knows what he's doing. So I'm like, all right, got you. Paying for all this stuff. 2 days later, he's in Sydney, Australia. I'm there waiting. Bring him the suitcase, 1.5 million. I go, there you go, have at it. 48 hours later, I get a call, and he's in Las Vegas. He goes, I'm done. Come pick up the money.
Damn.
I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did he do this quick? So let me tell you how he did it. He took the 1.5 million. His casino host from Las Vegas called the casino host in Sydney, Australia, and said, hey, I got a high roller coming in, and he wants to gamble some of his cash. So this high roller shows up to the Star Casino, puts his 1.5 million cash on the table and goes, let's run it. He plays a couple hours, and then he says, you know what, I'm not feeling it. You know what, cash me out. So they take the chips, and he goes to the cage. He says, cash me out. They give him a check, 1.5 million, baby. So he takes that check. He flies to Australia, or flies to Los Angeles, where he's this high roller. Red carpet's laid out. Mr. Cipriani, nice to meet you. Good to see you again. He takes his check. Guess what? They give him the chips, and after that, the game's over. He's got the chips. He can turn them into cash anytime. And back then, it was easy. So he calls me. He says, hey, I have the 1.5 million minus my 25%. Come pick it up. So I'm calling everyone. I'm calling my girlfriend. I'm calling my dad. I said, hey, go pick up this cash for me. I said, this guy's a gambling customer of mine. You can't tell everyone what's going on. So I'm like keeping secrets with everybody. Like, this gambling customer has some cash in mine. Can you pick it up? I got my dad involved. Fuck, what was I thinking? Got my girlfriend involved. What was I thinking? Like, those are the two people you need to protect.
Yeah.
But I was so fucking desperate. I didn't care, man. I had all this money. 10 million, and I still had
trust the most.
FLF is just waiting for his money. So I'm telling FA, I got it. Let's do. He goes, okay, keep doing it. So I fly back to Australia. I'm still working. I still got my 4-man crew cleaning money through the gold, cleaning money through the UGG boots, doing the Euro notes. And I said, Robin Hood 72 says, hey, let's do it again. I'm like, bet. I got 2.5 waiting for you right here. Like, it's ready. It's in that suitcase, that Toomey luggage.
The Toomey.
The Toomey. So he's like, all right, cool. So he flies over, same thing, Four Seasons penthouse. He goes, this time I'm going to have a crew with me, Fox News. He goes, they call me Robin Hood for a reason. He goes, what I do is I play a little, and the money I win, I take it and I give it to like a poor person, like a charity, and I document it so no one will ever know that we're laundering the money. I'm like, oh, cool, I like the idea. Like, whatever you want to do, that's your business. All I care about is my 75% that I'm getting back, right? So he brings this Fox guy, and he's saying how he's going to play this big money that he has, and anything he wins from the casino wins, he's going to give a little money to charity to make him look like Robin Hood, right? Like, I don't care, right? You do whatever you want. Just give me back my 75%. So 2.5 dropped off at the Four Seasons. I'm just sitting back. I'm with my trainer. We're working out. And I get a call.
Some
3 hours
bullshit.
later. I'm like, man, that was fast. Like, he says, hey, I need you to bring some more money. I said, what do you mean bring some more money? He goes, I'm down, dude. I only got 300,000 left. I said, you're down.
Oh.
I said, what do you mean? You can't be down. We had an agreement. There's no way you're down.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I said, whoa, wait a minute here. My heart drops. I'm like, oh, my God. What do you mean you're down? Oh, fuck, man, I'm stressing now. I told my trainer, he's like, everything okay? I said, nah, man, this guy said he lost $2.2 million of my money. God. He goes, where did he lose it? I said, the Star Casino. And my trainer goes, no, I got a pit boss over there. That's my bro. He's a manager there. He's the head pit boss. He goes, let's go over there. So I called this fucking Robin Hood up. I said, hey, just sit tight. We're coming over. Him and I put in our 3-piece suits. I said, we're going to go collect this money. We're pissed. You know, like, is this guy fucking hustling me? Is he lying to me? Like, I don't know what's going on. You can't just lose $2.2 million in 3 hours.
That's
not possible.
that's
not
crazy.
possible. So my boy gets there, and he's like asking the pit boss, hey, can you run the tapes? He comes back, he ran the tapes. He goes, yeah, sure enough, he lost. He was playing 90,000 a hand, and he had like 4 hands going at a time. And he's a degenerate. He ain't no money launderer. So this guy's playing, and he's just chasing, right? And I'm like thinking to myself,
So he really don't know what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, but there's a gambler in him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he knows what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
Come on, you and I made an agreement.
Yeah.
You can't just go lose the money. So he wasn't lying. He's like, hey, I got 300,000 left at the hotel. He goes, let's just add a little to it and I'll win the money back. He goes, I do this shit all the time, don't worry. I know how to play. I'm a blackjack. I count cards. I'm like, okay. I said, there's no way in hell I'm giving this guy any more money.
That
right?
breath was crazy.
I said, no, listen, you know what? I feel better. Let's do this. I said, let's get your 300K. I said, my trainer here, Sean, I said, we'll get a hotel room. You just go bring that 300K to the hotel room, bring your passport. I said, I don't want you to leave in the country until we get this resolved. I said, because this ain't my money. And he goes, what do you mean it's not your money? I said, yeah, I can't really talk about it, but I didn't get that 300K back. You know, I'm not going to let this guy lose any more money. So I get back to my house. I'm with my trainer. I said, dude, I'm a little paranoid right now. I said, let's get some of this money out of this house because this guy knows where I live. So I'm freaking out. I put a suitcase. I give him 700 grand. I said, here, take the 700 grand to the hotel. I said, once you get the 300, we'll have $1 million. I said, take that $1 million and take it to your farm, put it in the where the horses are, stash it. You know, I'm paranoid right now. I'm freaking out. Who knows what this guy's doing, right? He goes, you sure? I said, yeah, take it. So he takes that 700. He gets to the hotel, and the cops are waiting. I'm like, the cops are waiting. You know, I don't know any of this. You know, for hours and hours later, there's 4 cops waiting. They said, we got a call from an American saying there's a gun in the hotel room, and we need to check your bag, sir. They check his bag. There's not a gun, but there's $700.
Oh, my God.
So now I just lost 2.5 and 700,000, not of my money, but the cartel's money. So I'm in the whole 3.2 million, Big Hurt, and I don't know it yet. Because I'm still thinking, okay.
Who called the blackjack dude?
Yeah, the blackjack guy. He
Robin
called.
Hood.
Yeah, he called. Called. He thought we were going to have him whacked.
Oh.
So he called.
God.
So this is the problem. I don't know any of this is going on. I'm thinking my personal trainer burned me because I'm calling him. He ain't answering the phone. I'm going, oh, this motherfucker got me too. I'm calling. Finally, 6 hours later, I get a call from the New South Wales Police Department. And, hi, Mr. Junior DeLuca. Would you like to come into the New South Wales police station? I was like, police station? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. We just picked off 700,000. I was like, holy shit. I said, holy shit. She goes, we need you to come in. I said, I ain't coming in. I mean,
Shit, I'm about to get up out of here.
I said, I'm in Coogee Beach. I'm in Bondi Beach right now. And I said, I'm not coming all the way up there. I said, I'll come up in the morning. How's that? I'm thinking to myself, oh.
You still got money in there?
I had money in the apartment. I'm not going near that apartment. I'm so scared right now.
God.
I do the math. I had like 6 million still in there, dude. So I'm freaking out. I'm going to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do? Everywhere in Australia, there's cameras everywhere. They can watch one camera.
So you leave, go.
So I had to, yeah, they could see everything. So I already know these guys are going to be hitting my house. And I'm like, okay, what do? I got to get out of the fucking country. Like, they know me as Junior DeLuca. How long until they're going to know it's really Owen Hansen? So I'm like, man. So Sean, the personal trainer / security guard of mine, finally gets released. And he's like, dude, I told him it's your money, but you're investing in my business. I'm like, oh man, I got to get out of the country. They're going to start putting the pieces together. We don't know what this gambler's doing. He's probably singing like a canary.
God.
So I'm like, oh, fuck. I said, what do we do? He says, well, I think we could get the money back. I'm like, how are we going to get it back? He goes, it's legitimate money. He goes, you were going to invest in my business. I'm like, man, I don't know about all this. He says, I got a guy that can get us a good lawyer. A good lawyer? I said, what do you mean a good lawyer? He's a little crooked, but he'll get the money back. So I'm thinking, okay, let's try it before I get out of here, right? So I talked to this lawyer named Michael Croak, and he's like, oh, mate, no problem. We get that money back, no problem. He goes, I'll pay off some barristers. I'll keep $350, you keep $350. I'm like, at this point, listen, hey, Big Herc, at this point, I don't care. I'll take any money I can get because it's just going to take off with that money I owe. So I'm like, okay, well, do whatever you can. You're the lawyer. You're like, you know what you're doing. So he says, okay, I'll make it happen. Fast forward, I get the fuck out of fucking Sydney, Australia, and now I get to California. And guess what? El Jefe's messaged me. Hey, what's going on with the money? I need some money dropped off. Man, I've never even met this guy. How am I going to tell him? I can't tell this guy on an encrypted phone that I lost his money. Like, I can't. There's no way.
So
like,
the $6 million is still in Australia?
We think. We don't know. Because remember, they know where the house is.
Oh, the black guy dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the problem. So
God.
in my mind, it's gone, right? I'm thinking, okay, there's no way I'm going to get to it. So I have no contacts in Australia. I can't tell people where it's at. I can't tell people to go in there. The people that are working for me, I can't tell them where it's at. I just don't feel comfortable. The whole situation is a bad situation, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can't go to Australia. What am I going to do? Okay, fuck it. I got to go talk to El Jefe, man. He's not going to believe me. So I tell El Jefe, I said, man, I think I need to see you in person. I said, there's some money that's been lost. And I said, but I need to talk to you. Like, I'm not going to just tell this guy how it happened. It doesn't look good.
No, not on text.
It looks like it's first of all, it looks like I'm bullshitting. You know, how you lost my money, it just doesn't happen like that. You just don't give someone that much money and then all of a sudden you lose it. So I'm like, can I meet you? He's like, yeah, you can meet me. Meet me in Tijuana. So I said, okay. It was a Monday, I remember. And he says, meet me at 1 p.m. He says, cross the bridge. He says, right when you cross the bridge, there's going to be a McDonald's right there. And he says, I'll have my workers pick you up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get fucking killed, right? Like, okay, like this is it. This is it, Big Herc, I'm done. So I cross that border, I get to the McDonald's, I said, I'm here. Boom. Bulletproof, what was it, a Cadillac Escalade, pulls up, rolls down the window, and says, Wedo, get in the car. I get in the car, and then I look back, and there's 2 Sicarios with fucking AK-47s in the back. I'm like, oh man, this is where they're just gonna just kill me right here. You know, I'm thinking to myself, it's over. And they pull in, we pass the Tijuana airport, and there's like this entourage. Boom. El Jefe's in one of the cars, bulletproof Hummers, like 3 of them, matte black. I'm like, holy shit. They're on the radio speaking Spanish. And we go to this town called Puerto Nuevo, which is a little lobster town right past Rosarito. And we get there and I said, oh my gosh, like, what do I do, man? So we get to this town and it's just deserted. We get to Puerto Nuevo #1 and the guy has the whole restaurant closed. It's just for him. He's got like 6 sicarios that are sitting at the table. He's got 4 of them that are standing up. I'm like, oh fuck, this is it. Like, how am I gonna tell this guy that I lost his money? So I sit down there and I had to tell him the story, right? I said, I had this gambler, he did great, 1.5, you see how quick we got that money? I said, then he came back, then he lost to 2.5, and the same time to 7. He's like, what, 3.2 million? I'm like, is this guy gonna believe me? You know, I'm drinking these margaritas, like, fuck. He's like, Wedo, you don't only owe me 3.2, but now you owe me 4 million. And he says, now you work for me. I'm thinking to myself, well, at least I'm not dead, right? Like 4 million, I'm cool with that, right? So, what do you know? I get back in the car. I said, well, I'm alive, right? I'm thinking to myself, well, at least I'm alive, right? I got that going for me. And he messaged me and says, hey, let's let stuff cool down for a minute because this Robinhood, he goes, I don't trust him. So he says, you're going to take off 2 years. He says, you're going to run your sports betting business just the way you're running it. He says, I don't want you doing anything with drugs. I don't want you communicating with this guy. I don't want you to do anything but stick with the sports betting because I want, if the feds are watching you, they're going to see the sports betting. So that's what I did. I went every day. I went.
But it was 6 million. But it was 6 million up in the
playing golf. I'd be seeing my sports betting clients, and then fast forward 2 years later, we're at 2013, and El Jefe goes, "You ready?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like on the team. Yeah. I said, man, I said, am I ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready, man. I got 4 million on my forehead. Right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay.
So the department, whatever happened, you don't.
Department's. I'm still thinking it's okay, right? But I can't get in there. Come to find out, the feds got that too. They came in, they got the department. The Robin Hood told them where I lived. Yeah. So this whole time I'm like, oh man. So now I got to tell them, hey, I can't even. And plus, Big Kirk, the worst part about it is I got 800 birds right now that are just sitting over there waiting for me to move. My idea was I was going to make that 100 million and be done, retire. Wow. So this whole thing, 100 million. That was it, Herc. We were going to be in Costa Rica. We were going to be playing golf every day and just retired, right? Damn. It was the perfect escape, you know? But this fucking Robin Hood came into my life.
That dude, man.
He cost me my fucking freedom, man. So guess what? El Jefe said, hey, you're not using my route. You got to figure out a way to get my product into the country now.
From Australia?
Yeah, I have to now figure out the way. Because he already sent his people to move.
It's hard enough getting it over there.
Yeah, he already had a crew that picked up the rest and made their money over there. So I'm like, oh, fuck. He goes, now you got to figure out the way because I'm not going to burn my route. You got to figure it out. I'm like, man, Big Kirk, I don't even know where to begin, man. So for 3 months, I'm stressing. I'm calling my contacts in Australia. They're like, hey, don't come to Australia. You're hot. He goes, this lawyer's going to get this money back. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. He says, you want to meet? Let's meet in Fiji. So I meet this kingpin that's moving this work in Australia, and he meets me in Fiji. And we're sitting there, and I was like, dude, what are we going to do? Like, I got to get it in the country. This is what my boss is saying. And we're drinking this white wine, right? And I'm drinking it. And I take that wine. I said, I got it. We're going to put it in wine bottles. Napa Valley. Everyone knows Napa Valley. It's famous. He goes, what do you mean? I said, we'll take absolute 150 proof Everclear vodka. I said, I know we can break it down and we'll funnel all the wine back in the bottles and we'll use these dark bottles. So when you go like that, it just looks like a white wine liquid. He goes, well, I got a chemist in Australia that can bring it back. I said, that's what we're going to do. So I got home, I called LFA, I told him on the cryptophone, I said, I figured it out. My partner in Australia said he can bring it back from liquid to solid. I said, we'll take this Everclear 150 proof, we'll break it down, we'll take that cocaine, that's the kilo. I said, let's just do 10 the first round. We'll break it down in the bathtub. So I'm in my construction site and I'm taking it in this fucking spoon. And I'm breaking this cocaine down, man. I'm breaking that shit down.
In the liquid?
In the liquid. and I got this Everclear alcohol just breaking it down. It's just evaporating. It's turning into, the cocaine's turning into liquid. And I'm watching it, and it's just, I'm keep mixing it. It goes from cream to liquid. I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna work. So I take all my wine bottles. I got 2 cases, 24 bottles, and I got these funnels, and I'm funneling all the wine back in, which is now cocaine, just cocaine, straight cocaine, liquid cocaine. And I'm funneling it back in. I'm wiping down the bottles. I'm cleaning them so the dogs don't smell. And then I'm putting corks in all of them, and I'm taking this red candle and I'm just melting it over the wine bottle. So it looks like like it's the real deal. I put it back in the Napa Valley wine boxes, and I called my runner. I said, hey, I need you to drive to Napa Valley today. He goes, what the fuck? I said, you need to send these 2 bottles or 2 cases of wine to Australia for my buddy. So he comes over, he goes, this is kind of a weird job, boss. Sending wine? I should go to Napa. So he takes the wine, he puts it in the Napa company's box. He puts the FedEx label, and we put it as a promo of Napa Valley wine, and we send it to a bar in Australia. And I'm telling my people over there, I said, hey, we're sending it, man. Get ready. Boom, gets to customs, clears customs, touchdown. I said, holy shit, touchdown, baby. It worked.
Oh, shit.
So we had, I think, let's do the math. The second, let's see, it was 10
that
kilos.
Was $1 million right there.
Yeah, 10 kilos. But remember, only half of it's mine.
Yeah.
And then I got to work out the deal over there. So these guys now, they're like, okay, well, if we're catching it, and we're cleaning your money, so by the time it came down, I think I made like 250 on each time I would send, 250 grand. So it's going to take a while. And then next thing you know, the guy started taxing us. That was bringing the coke back to the solid. We were getting 95.
He's seeing like
he sees all the money.
Yeah.
He's just a chemist, so he's seeing all this money, and it was 95% it would come back. So
Damn.
So out of every 5 kilos was 5,000 grams. We were getting 4,500 grams back, which is 95%.
Yeah.
So it's good high heat cocaine, and everyone's seeing money now. I'm like, man, everyone's just counting that money, and I'm like, man, this guy wants more money now. I can't afford to keep sending it through wine, so I had to figure out another route. So my next route was chocolates. I had some fraternity brothers that I knew from USC that owned a export-import business, and all they dealt with was candy coming in from the UK, all chocolates. And they had a warehouse, 20,000 square foot warehouse full of pallets of chocolates. Pallets. I called them, I said, how would you guys like to make $50,000 a month? All I need is your expired chocolates. They're like, where do we sign up? Brought them 50,000 cash. They said, these pallets are for you. They're expired, do whatever you want. So I got in there and I started taking these chocolate bars out, and I started just laying all these kilos between all the chocolate. And this started to work. I put them all back, saran wrapped it. Boom, we sent it from the company. It got there. They get these chocolates. They're like, hey, bro, there's no kilos here. I said, yeah, they're there. I go down to box 32, and if you open there, there's one there. And the next thing you know, he goes, man, you hit it so good, nobody could find these. I had these chocolates hidden so well. The kilos were hidden so well. I was able to do 10 at a time.
Damn.
Yeah, 10 at a time. Chocolate through chocolates.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I could talk about this now because the feds eventually found out. They arrested the brothers, and they said, hey, what's the catch? Like, how are you guys doing this? And they just sang, they sang like canaries. And everybody told on me. Just like the wine, I can tell you now, because my contractor that was helping with me, he told the feds, and he said, hey, this is how Owen was doing it. Yeah.
Giving him game.
And then he hung himself. It's like, come on, man. Like, you got to tell on your partner here, then you're going to hang yourself. If you're going to tell him, at least live it up, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
At least stay alive, right? So it was a tragedy, losing my contractor and my mentor as a child. But that's how it happened, dude. In about 2 weeks before my arrest, I paid back the cartel.
Oh, shit.
I had that marker off my head.
Wow.
And the $1 million question, El Jefe said, hey, Wedo, what do you want to do? I said, I'm like, hey, I want to get ahead now. I want to make a little money, right?
Yeah,
I've been making you all the money. I said, I want to fucking work. So I kept working, and I was dealing with these money launderers that my contacts in Australia had introduced me to, and they're handling all my transactions. They're cleaning the money for like 10%. These guys are moving like $1 million a week for me over there. And I'm golfing with them, and fucking popping Viking and drinking shots of tequila. I'm snorting lines of coke. I'm fucking partying with these dudes, right? I got this meeting on the golf course at 7 a.m. to do another transfer with these guys. And I remember I pulled up to this golf course in Carlsbad, San Diego, and it's like 7 in the morning, and I get a message on the encrypted phone, and it's this money launderer. He's like, "Hey, where you at, man? I'm in the clubhouse. Let's go. Our tea time's in 10 minutes." I'm like, "Okay." So I pull up my Porsche Panamera, I park it, I get out of my car. My caddy comes, "Hey, Mr. Hansen, welcome." I said, "My golf clubs are in the back." I grab my money bag. You know, I got like 50 grand to go gamble. I got my 3 encrypted phones. I got my personal. I grab it. As soon as I take that money bag and I turn around, I got 15 undercover agents pop out of the bushes. I got a helicopter.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, fuck, man." I said, hey, Big Herc, all I'm thinking, the whole time I'm thinking, I'm hoping this is just for the gambling, right? I'm thinking gambling, gambling, gambling. Okay, that's all I care about. They handcuffed me. They put me in this car. I'm like, "Fuck, where are we going?" You know, we're going to go to the FBI/DEA Carlsbad facility. We'll talk to you in there. And then I'm just like listening, right? I'm in this daze. And I hear this Australian accent. And when I heard that Australian accent there, I said, "That's it. My life's over." I said, "That is it. I'm done." And they said, "Mate, you remember me?" And I said, "Mate, I don't remember you, but this is where you talk to my lawyer." And I just said, "That's it." They were so disappointed. They were hoping I would be able to talk to them because, you know, that's what they want. They want you to tell on yourself. And I knew from the get-go, I've been in this game, in the bookmaking business, and I've all these old school bookies say, "Hey, make sure you have your lawyer on deck, and anytime anything ever happens, if you get arrested, don't say a word." He says, the first thing you say is, "You need to speak to my lawyer." And I shot them down, and they were so pissed. These guys came from Australia thinking I'd sing like a canary, give up everybody. And I said, no, you guys need to speak to my lawyer. And I remember when my lawyer saw me in San Diego, I was at the MDC building, and he said, "That was the best thing you've ever done." He says, "That saved you." He says, "Because now we can work our magic with this case."
Real niggas go out like that. All that other
that's
shit
what we did, man.
in Atlanta.
We did our thing.
Niggas always telling. Niggas always want to tell.
We're here.
Don't go out like the real
happening.
ones. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just happy to be alive.
Man. Ooh, shit. Well, shit, man. We gotta do the second part, man. We
Yeah,
gotta set
I
up
figured
another
you would.
story. Yeah. Hey, man. You guys are tuned in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe, I like button, man. Big Herc 916, fresh out. Owing Hansen, man. The California. What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down fresh out. You know how we do it. Got a special guest, man, bringing fire, and his story is incredible. Owing Hansen, California kid, and man, hey, get your popcorn ready. Owing, man, I know you're from Redondo, played ball at USC, man. Share with our audience how you grew up and how you got into, you know, the whole sports betting thing, playing ball, and, you know, how that came about.
You know, I grew up in Redondo Beach. You know, a lot of people think, "Oh, he came from money." No, you know, my father was a construction worker. My mother was a librarian. And they parted ways when I was about 8 years old. And my mom left, and my dad, you know, I was sad at the time. I was crying. He's like, "Son, we don't cry in this household. We're men." He said, "Let's go to the beach." I was like, "Let's go." He grabbed a bunch of volleyballs, the surfboards, and we took off. You know, 5 blocks away, we lived from the beach, and we got to the sand, and he's just hitting these volleyballs at me, you know, trying to get my mind off my mother, and we're surfing, and he said, "This is what life's about, you know, you're going to become an athlete." He says, "I can't afford to put you in college, so you're going to need to figure out a way to get a scholarship. And I just remembered I'll do anything for my dad, you know. I said, okay, I got to help my dad. So, you know, every day I just was down there on the beach playing volleyball. You know, guys 4 times my age I'm playing with, and I'm surfing, and I'm just this California kid, you know, got this blonde hair, you know, a nice tan. And I said, man, this is the life, you know.
Okay, now we just wanted the first 2 stories, man. This was a crazy one. This was a nice jaw dropping jump, man. I was all into this one, man. We can go ahead and end this one right here, man. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hope y'all have a blessed one. See y'all on the next video.